People of the internet, whenever somebody told me about Chris D'Elia, they said, just don't look. And so far, I haven't. But the other day, I saw his face in a video and something disturbed me. And I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. So today, I'm just going to take a little peek into the world of Chris D'Elia and see what everyone is saying. They're saying, if you look, all you will see is darkness. But I always told them, I am born in the darkness. I think I can handle it. But we will see. We will see. And I don't know if we could ever come back from here. So, if you're scared, if you're worried, or if you just want to avoid this altogether, this is your final warning. Because once we look, we can never look back. And so I urge you, stop. I don't know if you can handle this. I don't know if you have what it takes. And that's just what I think. So grab your coffee, grab your joint, because the darkness begins.
Because I've already done the thing that buried me, and somebody's got a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The heartbreak on my wife's face, and then she gets bullied online.
The Chris situation is on the Bill Cosby level in my opinion.
I see my dad's face and how he aged 10 years in 2 years because of the stress of the situation in my family that I put myself in these situations, and that's why my dad's stressed out. I have to deal with that shit. Me.
Nope, this silence is not editing. It's the real special. Even the crowd who usually do the whole wah thing after every slight giggle D'Elia puts on are horrified as well.
I have to deal with that shit. Me.
Yo, how's this a comedy special? This is crazy. Man, there's just people that are going to go, whoa, people are going to go down in history as like, hot motherfucking damn. This is intense. I don't even know what he's talking about, but this is intense. Is this man a psychopath? He's got some, every time I see a freeze frame of him, like a picture, he's got these like demon eyes.
At least when he says his wife supported him amidst FBI investigation, the crowd can do their little woo in support. Chris should have done his signature giggle to turn it all around.
This is real life. You have to be...
Boy, does it work on this audience. That giggle lands harder than a lot of the jokes. It really is something to take accountability for your actions, but in the same breath, claim none of what has been said is true. It doesn't make any sense. Even when it's your own tour manager saying,
The Chris situation is on the Bill Cosby level in my opinion.
still,
What does that even mean? This is a deep rabbit hole, isn't it? I mean, I don't really know. I've avoided the Chris D'Elia thing is what I'm saying. So I've heard things but I don't really know what happened. This is why we're taking, I don't know. What do you guys think? This is going to get dark, isn't it? Oh, Lord.
people comment angry at me like I'm writing the accusation. Nope, it's all public. I'm not this article or his tour manager. Really strange how people's favorite comedian can mock things, but if they get jabbed at for their own strange behavior, suddenly that's too far. He won't address anything directly, and that's the issue, really. The investigation into D'Elia hasn't resolved. They put a new mask on and reappeared as a family man on the podcast, then this interview serving as some sort of twisted apology, and now this special where the cancellation speaks through so many of the jokes, yet through it all, the Cosby...
Ooh. He was on Soft White Underbelly? Isn't that guy kind of... Oh, man, somebody when I streamed, we watched something on the Soft White Underbelly guy. Bro. This is some... What are we doing here, folks? What are we doing? This is...
esque allegations and never actually addressed head on, so people haven't let it go. The comment section is also being wiped clear of anyone pointing out the allegations, well, except for the replies. The reason being that replies don't show up in YouTube Studio the same way for Chris or whoever that's deleting them, so they're flying under the radar. And now this special where the cancellation speaks through so many of the jokes. Yet Cosby-esque allegations are never actually addressed head-on, so people haven't let it go. Louis C.K. shows this. His allegations ended his career and were then swiftly confirmed by him. He lost his jobs just as Chris did, and many comedy fans aren't fans of him anymore because of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they hit the Lou dog with just like masturbator.
Yeah. After the initial, he gets hit with a lot.
Does he?
Lou dog?
Really?
Yeah. King Louis?
King Louis gets hit with.
King Louis gets it. They bring that to his table.
Of
often,
like.
and he just says, no.
No.
Let's get this out of here. No.
Chris's allegations involving minors allegedly, Chris not owning up to it as legally he obviously can't, which is why the investigation should have been more conclusive. Add on top CK being a comedy legend compared to Chris's career, and it's why Louis CK's Sorry had a much better reception than Chris D'Elia's Grow or Die. But without a conclusion, his fans will claim no charges, innocent man. Anyone pointing out the smoke is just woke, a hater, something cancel culture. Chris's fans are certain he's a good guy, calling it hate instead like they know the guy personally, despite people close to him again saying,
The Chris situation is on the Bill Cosby level, in my opinion.
others in reality like Matt McCusker and Shane Gillis.
What do you say? This is crazy. This is crazy how if everybody knew he was like this, and then like Brendan Schaub, all these people are just like making shows with him. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I do not know about this one. This is not good.
Will instead raise their eyebrow.
You know, with like the D'Elia shit, it's just like he was going for young. Did none of his friends, all of his friends are like, look, I had no idea. It's like, all right, do I buy it? No.
I knew he was young chicks by looking at his ripped jeans.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He's 40 with ripped jeans.
True.
Get him out of here.
True.
At least some of them have the balls to say it as it is. I mean, when this video started with Chris yelling about how his own actions aged his father 10 years with tears in his eyes, you think, father, Hollywood producer. Then I remember one of Elephant Graveyard's masterpieces, and it all adds up. Good old Abrams method, cry in the middle of your comedy special to garner sympathy and show you're an empathetic, real human being, and not a sociopath cosplaying as one to the paws that buy your tickets.
Bert cried. He pretended to cry in his special. Man, the world's just crazy, huh? Sometimes you just forget. And then you see people like this and you're like, oof. I think sometimes, like, I didn't want to look at this, but it's just a reminder that it just gets really dark. It really gets dark. And I don't know how beyond this video, I don't know how much I could take of this. It's boy. Just don't make me feel good, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sorry about that. It don't make me feel good at all. Yeah.
I got canceled. It wasn't what you read, okay? A lot of crazy things out there being said about me that just wasn't true, but that doesn't mean that I didn't make mistakes, okay? I made mistakes, and, it's been 3 years now. I've learned, and I'm learning, and it's a process, but it's been 3 years.
That's a long time for a rich kid in the entertainment industry who's never had a real job to take
3 years
off from, and instead was removed from the acting gigs they did have due to the allegation waves that hit Chris in 2020, 2021, and 2023. But it's not an advantage at all to be extremely rich your entire life. Kreischer, Segura, Schultz, Schaub, D'Elia. As this comment put, I think all these comedians.
If you do look at it, like all of those rich guys, their kids grew up to be famous comedians in the industry, and then you look at their comedy and you know it's absolute dog shit and not funny at all, you really could make a case that these guys are just plants in the entertainment industry for what, I don't know what reason, but they were put there because they are selling lies.
Trying to hide that they were brought up rich goes deeper than relatability. I think they see it as making them illegitimate and that they made it because of their head start. Also, they all want to be seen as self-made and hardworking, when most are actually incredibly lazy.
You were raised with a lot
I
of
went
money.
to a party school.
You a rich guy growing up?
Oh, really, dude?
For a year, I wanted to end my, and that's the truth. But I didn't. I got through it because my wife held me the down, okay? And that's what's real.
There's plenty of good art made by rich kids, hello, The Apprentice, The Stronks, but being a super rich kid as an artist is a major head start compared to a regular person who is actually confined to the system. While Tim Dillon was selling prime mortgages or Theo Von was off being southern, most of the comedians you can name had the Burt Kreischer lifestyle of college parties with everything paid for.
It's just funny to meet some of these people and then you talk to them and they'll just like casually drop that they're like, you know, their parents like billionaires, and you're like, that's awesome, man. And they're just doing bar shows. It says something about people's idea of the future that these people just like want to be famous now. Or
How
they
many
just,
of them are there?
There's some more than you'd think.
Really? And it's
Yeah.
a New York thing?
It's a lot of rich people live there.
99% of the rest of the world has jobs, bills,
You know, for the sake of Tim Dillon, because I think sometimes it can be a little too much to listen to him for me, because I just like, okay. But I think Tim Dillon should just get away from all of these guys too. You know, I think Tim Dillon could be, you know, something on his own. It may not be my taste or something, but I think it'd be a lot better than there's too much going on, man. And I just don't even like thinking about it because it makes me feel really, really, it's just like you get a feeling and you're like, nope, yep, nope, no time for that one. But the more, man, it's just the more I learn about these guys, I think there's something crazy. I just think there's something crazy. I just can't put my finger on it. It makes me feel weird though.
and general slavery to contend with before they
And I'm speaking about when I say that, I'm talking about the Rogan sphere. I think there's something going on we just don't know about, and it's crazy. And I'm just starting to get a really weird feeling about all of this. I have the comedy thing, I know, but like there's something, guys. Strange.
they get to improving at their chosen art form. It makes a ton of sense when you combine nepotism and free time.
I feel like because of the situations that I put myself in and my addiction, that it's my fault that my dad is getting older, you know? Because he couldn't deal with the stress.
Ultimately for D'Elia, it's hard to be like, yeah, this guy is totally innocent. Let's ignore all the years of smoke telling us there might be a fire, and laugh at D'Elia's endearing family stories.
He's a one-year-old looks like in the backseat of a car with no car seat. His feet were just out. I put the safety belt on, it went over his face.
Ah yes, lying so you can put your 1-year-old in a 5-year-old seat. And in an accident, yeah, it's Karen, think of the children, but holy Christ, common sense is beyond dead at this point, isn't it? All of this leads to the punchline that his 1-year-old son himself. 5-year-olds, for the most part, don't do that. So what did Chris do?
I'm sorry, sir, my wife farted. And you know what? I had Calvin's back. So say what you want about me, but I'm a good dad. Thank you very much.
Humor's subjective and all, but this is really bottom of the barrel. And that's before you even get to the deflection.
Like, I don't want him growing up to be a weirdo. I don't like it, right? Weirdos. I don't like weirdos.
So man, yeah, I could see why people are thinking this wasn't a good look. Bro, this stuff has me like my chest feeling tight. It's just not, it's not right. Something's not right, fellers. I know that he's done things, but there's just a darkness there. There's something bigger. With these guys, there's always something bigger going on, and I'm not a fan of looking at it.
I don't like weirdos at all. As a matter of fact, weirdos, okay? No, I don't like weirdos. Be regular. I can't stand it, dude. I can't. There's that whole notion, too, where people are like, let your inner weirdness shine. Don't be the real you, okay? Be regular.
Ah, yeah, screw those weirdos. Yeah, that's not transparent material placed to make you seem like not a weirdo. No. The projection in this special is truly something. People argue that Ricky Gervais and Bill Burr, for example, are out of their prime with their latest releases, and they were basically from their own universe compared to Grow or Die or Lucky by Bert. Tim Dillon's new special was extremely refreshing after this. Look, maybe when your eyebrows are copying the stereotypical evil cartoon, maybe the universe is just trying to tell us something, I don't know.
But again, that's my ego talking, because I'm scared that the people in the room won't accept me. There's good ways to cope with it and bad ways to cope with it. It's not so bad being a comedian. It's kind of awesome, you know? I didn't have to feel my feelings. I could go on stage, I'd make people laugh, and I got stuff for it.
It'd be one thing if the material was really funny, and then we'd have to separate the art from the artist argument instead that people could make. But this was just pain and misery, and there's many other comedians with better sets and zero allegations, so... Anyway, one of the greatest specials I've ever seen. If you don't agree, you're a hater, and thank you for watching.
You gotta stick my get up in the belly room. I'm making call for you. That's the gateway into coming to Hollywood. Everybody knows that.
How many girls did you have do that?
Oh, 20 of them. I had this little blonde open mic. She was beautiful. And when she left, she had dirty nails were dirty. And then a year later, she wrote me a letter to the Comedy Store. You broke me. I kept shooting sperm balls in her ear ball.
Yo, like it's crazy, man. It is crazy. I did some videos back in the fall, and I looked down this rabbit hole. Not this one, but the Rogan one, and I found a lot of things, you know. And when I was doing it, those videos, it just. Yeah, it makes you feel like you're suffocating. It's just so intense. It's intense. It's intense how these guys get to that level, or allegedly. Okay. It's intense how deep these things go. And I've seen retroactive videos are appearing. I'm just warning you, buddy. Just warning you, man. It's there on YouTube. The things these guys have said, it's insane. Wow. Man, I feel all kinds of weird now. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I don't know if I'm willing to open Pandora's box on this one again. Man, I don't even know what to say. Sorry. All right, bye.